All right, guys, another episode here on Grit Matters. Brian Makris here, and I got Cameron Pollock. He's
What's up, guys?
Newer loan officer with us. And success stories is kind of our theme right now, talking about our failures as well. At some point we will. We'll talk about them because we have them. It's real. It happens in life. Happens with a loan every once in a while. But I want to talk about a deal that I don't think really closes anywhere else without your stick-to-itiveness, without your guidance to the listing agent, the buyer's agent, the customers, the seller, and then the tenants of the building. So this particular property, I think, falls apart 9 times out of 10. First of all, what type of product were we doing?
DSCR, those investments, and those are killing them right now, for these investors.
Yeah, killing it in a good way, meaning that we're killing it with this particular product. It's a couple of bullets on this product. There's no income verification, so we're not looking at your pay stubs. We're not looking at your W-2s. We're not looking at your tax returns. We're not looking at 1099s.
Profit and loss.
Profit and loss. We're not looking at a Social Security award letters. There's zero of your personal income in this.
Yeah.
What are we using for income?
We're just using what the property generates. There's no DTI. You can have $1 million in debt technically, and we don't even look at that. We just look at what the property generates for rental income, and in most cases, as long as it covers the mortgage payment, you're good to go. And in some cases, you can go below that.
So expand on that. In most cases, if it covers the mortgage payment. So give me an example. Can you give me?
So for example, if you have a 3-family, you get $2,000 from each one, say, and your mortgage payment is $6,000. That's $6,000 coming from your tenants. Your mortgage payment is $6,000, which means your taxes, insurance, principal, interest, tax, and insurance is all included. And then as long as the rents cover your mortgage payment, you're good to go. But we have investors that will take, a DSCR ratio of half. So if you're getting rents that are $3,000 and your mortgage payment's $6,000, it's still doable. It's still doable.
It is.
And we have some all the way down to zero.
To zero.
Yeah.
It affects the rate. It doesn't get as pretty.
Yeah, it's doable though, yeah.
But you had a closing that was taking place, and it was this DSCR loan. And tell me a little bit about what happened, because again, the rental income is what we're using.
100%.
The property was occupied. You're closing on the property, and it was generating revenue from day one. That's called reoccurring revenue, making money while you sleep. However, all of the leases. Tell me what happened with the leases.
Yeah. So what happened was when we went under contract, we needed the lease agreements per this, exact product. That was one of the requirements when it came out of underwriting. When it comes to lease agreements, we were talking to a listing agent. They didn't really have them. So
she was like, we don't have those. We don't have any leases.
Which there was leases.
We kept pressing. We're like, we need to have some leases.
Yeah. So they talked to the seller, blah, blah, blah. I'll move forward. And we got the leases. However, they were month to month and they expired in 2023, which being 2025, you need updated lease agreements. So what we did is we found a solution. We worked around a path. And we went on one of our best friends, ChatGPT.
All right, so ChatGPT, bless its heart, would spit out this 3-page addendum extension, and we're like, can you make it shorter? Because really, we're going to sell this property. It's a month-to-month that's just going to extend it indefinitely, and most of the time that's how it is. But this particular lease didn't. It expired, and it said expired on that day and didn't go over to month-to-month after that 1 year. So we then got it down to 1 page, and once we got it to 1 page, now we have another very key piece. In order for us to use that as income, who needs to be involved in that new addendum to extend those leases? Yeah,
so as soon as you get that, lease agreement, the draft of it, you send it to the seller. Seller needs to sign his portion of it or her portion of it. Then as soon as they sign, you bring it to the tenants. They sign. That way they're aware of it. As soon as we get that, we send it to our underwriters, and it's back the same day.
So if it's a 3-family, there's 3 tenants involved, and all tenants need to sign
different lease agreement. Yep. So we needed 3 different lease agreements, not just one, because each one has a different monthly payment. Because if 3-bedroom or 2-bedroom or whatever the case is, they all have a different 1-pager that they need to sign. Then once they're signed, we can use it as rental income.
So solve this whole problem about the income on this property, which I think is fantastic. Used outside of the box, used technology. The listing agent wasn't going to go dig into this and find out what was going to go on and how we're going to do it. She was saying we don't even have leases. We don't have leases. Well, technically you do. They're expired.
Which is
but-
okay because
which
we
is-
found a solution.
Yeah, we just got an extension to the lease.
Just teamwork.
So then that income was enough to offset what the rental income was. We were doing a debt service cover ratio loan, meaning that we weren't looking at any income docs, and then it closed.
Yeah.
You know, any other stumbling blocks that we recall? I mean, that was kind of the
Yeah,
big.
no, other than the lease agreements, I mean, that was really the biggest piece of the puzzle. That's where all the income comes from on these, these loans.
That's it, because there's not their income; it's what the property generates.
Yeah, exactly.
How many units can we go up to? I know
We can go up to 10. We can go up to 10. Yeah.
So if you find a 6-family or a 7-family or an 8-family, call us. We can actually do a DSCR loan on it. We're going to look at all the rents. We're going to want the leases, what it generates for revenue. Terrific product. Great job with Cameron kind of navigating and saying, hey, this is not going to close until we get this. And then finding the solution that the actual owner of the property was okay with. He didn't figure it. He didn't want to go see his attorney. We just created an extension to it. And it was done. We closed it, man. Nice job. There's another
100%.
one on the books, another closing, another check. So to learn more about these types of products, if you're a first-time investor, second-time investor, you want to get equity because you're sitting on $400,000 or $500,000 in a property and you want to figure out how to grab that cash, come see us. The rates are extremely low on these cash-out refis. We can grab that cash and get you into that, and you can buy that next.
And it's
investment property.
tax-free.
That's right. Those are loans. That's not income. It's tax-free. Amen to that. So thank you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, guys.